saying hello again today from Lang Pioneer Village, just outside of Peterborough, Ontario. With me here, local history expert and costumed interpreter, Julia Gregory, and she's kindly agreed to take me around and give me a little customized tour of this whole facility. And we're in the grist mill right now.
Yes.
Okay, please tell me a bit more about this building.
Now the grist mill is on a river because it's flowing water and they need the power of the water to run the turbines. Prior to the fire they had wooden turbines and there was two. Now we only have one running, and here's the other one right here that you can actually see. That's opening. These here are doors. And the handle that you will twist is like your the hose to get your water to come out of your hose.
So this would power the shafts that would power the actual milling operation.
So I could control these doors, and if I shut them, that means there's no water going through and the belts won't work. And that the water will just run down through the river.
I see.
Now if I want to harness that power from the water, then I will open the doors depending on how the tap I open, how far it is, will depend how much power runs it.
Really? So it was actually controllable how much power you wanted to direct to the milling operation. Very interesting.
Once the grain's going through the milling rollers, you need more power. It slows it down, so it goes maybe 30 miles an hour.
Okay.
And then if you're not milling, you still need power because the flour's going through the sifter on the third floor. The elevators are taking the grain up to the third floor. And we have 3 floors because you actually need gravity to bring things down.
Okay, so the grain gets milled in here on the main level?
Yes, it'll go to the 3rd floor.
What is it doing up there?
It's either going to be transferred into big barrels to be milled later, or it'll go right into the milling machines. And it comes down, gravity feeds it down.
Okay.
And it feeds actually the flour that's going to be bagged down into the bagging area.
Okay, how ingenious. And all this without electricity?
All without electricity.
Just water power.
And if you listen to your lawnmower when you're cutting your grass, you can hardly talk. In here it's still running and you can still talk.
That's right, exactly. I wanted to show this operation here with the belts and the wheels and all that type of stuff. What are these machines in here?
Now this is the main belt.
Oh, look at that.
If you look down here,
you
will actually see the wheel going around and it has the claws, teeth in it.
Okay.
And those teeth are made out of wood. And then if you look further down, you can see another gear going sideways.
Okay.
And that's made out of metal. In the beginning we said about explosions. Well, if 2 pieces of metal rubbed together, it could create a spark.
So wood and metal doesn't create the sparks.
Exactly. So they're not going to worry about the explosions from the dust of the flour.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
So they'll go together, and then it powers all these belts. On the 2nd floor, there's another shaft with belts on it. So there might be 3 or 4 sifters, maybe a brand, an extractor, and then on the 3rd floor is where they stop. And the elevators stop there, and then they start coming back down again.
Oh, very interesting. So an elevator, sifters, and the grinding of the actual grain, all done by water power, no electricity whatsoever. Isn't that very interesting? Let's just walk over in this area too. So this is all operational, and you still make flour here, is that right?
Here's our grinder. Inside here you can actually see.
Okay. Empty?
Here.
Okay.
Inside there's 2 rollers. And they're embossed, so that will grab the grain. And the rollers move together like this.
Okay.
And they move so close you can put a $5 bill in.
Oh, really? Okay.
And the grain will come down. It'll come through this shaft here. It'll go in the front rollers of the milling machine and go down to the basement, into the shaft, and then up the elevators.
Wow.
And then on the third floor, go through the sifter. We do 100% whole wheat flour, so it all comes down. Only the bran will come to the back of the grinding machine.
Okay.
In pioneer times, like I said, they wanted to separate the white flour from the chalk, is what they would feed the animals. So they would use silk sifters, and the silk sifter would separate the white flour from the rest of the grain.
So the white flour is really fine. It goes through the silk fabric.
So it would come through the sifter, and the white flour would come through here and to be bagged.
So this is the packaging area for the white flour.
Yes, and they would bag it here.
Okay.
And then the rest of the chop would go back through the back, and that would either be ground a little more to get more white flour out, or it would be bagged to be just for the animals.
Very interesting. Now, let's have a look at what's on the table here.
And to the grinding machines, these are from 1896.
So 1896, these are the original ones. They've never been moved, they were part of this mill.
They were part of here, yes.
Great. So, what do we have here?
So here, we have school programs, and we let them grind grain.
Okay.
We, because some of them have never been to a farm, don't realize where bread or flour or anything comes from. So they get to grind the grain. They come here and they go
let's see that. What is this, wheat?
This is wheat.
Wheat, okay.
Yes.
So that's what wheat looks. I don't think I've ever seen wheat in its original condition.
And this is the wheat, and if you cracked it open, inside you would see the white flour. And then, of course, there's the wheat germ, is what the other plant would grow from.
Exactly, yeah.
You plant it. So then this is what comes out.
And that's what you would call whole wheat?
Yes. This one here would be cracked wheat right now because it's still a little thicker.
Okay. Could you bake with that?
You could, yes. You could, you could buy cracked wheat bread in that. It'll be crunchy, kind of nutty. So then, like I had said, one of the sifters upstairs has these on it, and there's a series of them, and it'll take the different parts and then put it through. Okay. Now this one here is silk. It was very expensive, so the miller's wife or children would sew them if it got ripped. So if you look underneath, you can just see the white flour.
The white flour is coming out,
and that's how they would extract it.
Isn't that interesting? But that was done with machinery. They didn't have to do it by hand.
No. And there's a large sifter on the third floor.
Okay.
And I believe it was from London, that area. And we started manufacturing our own when industrial came in, and we started manufacturing our own machines and everything.
Right. Now, just wanted to show you, I guess you can't see the kids right now, but this is a popular place for school groups.
Very popular. Right now we have day camps that come in the summer. And
there they are.
In May and June we have grade 3s or grade 4s that come in for their tours because they're learning the pioneer life and stuff.
Exactly. It must be amazing for those kids to get exposed to a lifestyle that they never even imagined.
No, because some come from Peterborough in the city. They don't understand what the farm.
They've never seen a cow probably, or never seen a chicken. They don't know where flour comes from.
No. So we kind of say, well, what did you eat today? And I say bagel, or what did you make out of flour? And then they start thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or even pasta.
So wonderful educational opportunities here as well.
It's just marvelous.
Yeah.
They're just a wonder of the whole place.
I can imagine. Well, thanks. Actually, we'll capture this area before we go upstairs. But thank you for showing me the main floor here of the grist mill.
Welcome.
Thank you, Julia.
You're welcome.